all of us are hereby introduced as members of the PWD community in Enugu State. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, let's appreciate ourselves better. You can do that better. Thank you. Thank you very much. I most respectfully request us, because today is purely
persons with disability in Enugu State,
PWDs
called by INEC for sensitization and tell them their readiness for them come the 2019 election.
While others sit behind, please, because today is their day and they must be recognized. Yes, please, let's do that quietly. Yes.
The REC, Enugu State INEC, Chief Emeka Onanamadu, and his colleagues.
Thank you very much.
Whether differently able from coming to cast his or her vote in 2019 general election. We are painstakingly doing this to make sure that nobody is left behind. Whether you are marginalized, whether you are disabled, whether you are able or not. Because we have one and only right, and that is the right to cast our votes, and the right also to be equally voted for. We are disposed towards this direction. While this discussion goes on, please go through your mind, reflect on difficulties and challenges that people living with disabilities face during elections. I want that to be our focus today, so that at the end of the day, if we have 1,500,000 or 200,000 registered voters who are disabled persons, that all of them will have that opportunity of voting whoever they want to roll them. So I will hand over the microphone to Chief Edo to give the welcome remark on behalf of INEC Enugu State. Thank you very much.
Honorable REC, I'm the Independent National Electoral Commission, Enugu State. The great and important personalities that are here with us today that we have invited, chiefly or commonly called people with disabilities. You have disabilities, but there is great abilities in you. And I know this very well. We've invited you here today because I know schemishly we have invited you in one occasion when we had general stakeholders forum. We invited you people. But we say, since we have been inviting people on stages and discussing with them issues concerning election, registration, collection of voters card, which is PVC, and keeping them and preparing to vote, we say we should call you individually. And like yesterday, I was in ETV. I spent a lot of time there. Sooner or later, you tune to hear those of us who have television, you will see what I said. Most of the things I said there is that they asked about the inclusion of people living with disabilities. And I want to use this opportunity to tell you that if you have not identified with yourself with any political party, please you better do so and start attending their meetings. Also go in for elected position. As you vote, you should be voted for. Next election, if you have not already registered or you are not already a candidate, next election, come out and say you are going for councillor, chairman of a council, local government council. Come out as member of House of Assembly. Come out as you want to go in for Senate. 2009 is very close. Please, you will go and vote. And like I said earlier, we prepare for that we will vote for you. I told somebody this morning, one of you, I said anytime a PWD comes out to vote to contest election, that person will win overwhelmingly. I'm prophesying, and because we'll give you a sympathy vote. So on this note, I say We welcome all of you to Independent National Electoral Commission on this summit. Thank you very much. You are welcome.
Thank you.
That is Aboedo, the head of publicity.
I will now call with the amendment which we've done.
We are so glad because I think this is the first time INEC is remembering us to this level in Enugu. So we all are glad to be here. And we are giving you promise that whatever we discuss here, we are going to take it home. Despite that some of us is not here, we are going to do everything according to the law by the special grace of God in Jesus' name.
On behalf of the people living with physical disability, I want to welcome everybody here. The INEC of Enugu, the present INEC in Enugu has been doing a wonderful thing for us. It didn't start today. I've attended so many fora here, and they have made it special for us that everything, every aspect of election, we are going. They have encouraged us to be participating in both voting, contesting, and even registering, doing ad hoc job during the elections. But one grey area which I want to apply the INEC to help us is the recruitment of ad hoc staff. We have not been recognized over the years. Thank you.
Thank you.
To speak for the Spinal Cord Injury Association of Nigeria, Enugu State Council. Just 1 minute.
Hello.
Hold it too.
Hello. Good afternoon all.
Good afternoon.
On behalf of Spinal Cord people and physical challenge, we are promising people that we are going to cooperate with INEC in everything that we are going to do in 2019 election. Thank you very much.
We are very happy to be invited for this program. This is our first time of coming here, and we are very happy that INEC remembered the deaf in their program. Teaching how to prepare for votes and encouraging them is very important. So they will do their best to see that they are involved, they participate in the voting, and encourage other deaf members to participate in voting. As they go back home, they will take the information back home for others. Thank you.
Lovely.
Miss Ogogoa, not here to come and speak just for 1 minute for the Nigerian Albino Foundation of Nigeria on behalf of IJELE.
Good day, everybody.
Good day.
I know here that we belong with these our sisters and brothers. Yes, we have a disability in vision. So we are visually impaired. Anyway, that will be a story for another day. I just want to say thank you for INEC. This is our first time.
Just go ahead because this is recording something else.
This is our first time of identifying with what is happening here in Enugu with INEC. And I promise that whatever will ever make 2019 election free and fair will be abide with by my association, especially when it comes to working with you, provided the atmosphere is made conducive for us. I will talk about that later. So I thank you all, and I plead with INEC, please. Anytime you are doing things with a civil society organization, may we be invited. Thank you.
You will be disabled by accident. or you will be disabled by one element or the other. And when we get to that stage, we want to be treated with care. We want to be treated with respect. We want to be treated humanly. But when it is our turn to treat the other person well, we see the person as a curse by the gods or by our forefathers, or as a result of what they did when they came during the First World, for those who believe in esoteric things. For us, we know that disability is as a result of one factor or the other, not necessarily what the person is entitled to. Will make every disabled person from A to Z in Enugu State who is eligible to vote, who has registered and has his or her PVC from coming out in 2019 to elect either the National Assembly officers, the President and Vice President, or the
counted their own inabilities. What are we saying? See yourself as an able-bodied person. I can see your faces, you are radiating. I can see your faces, you are charming. You know the season we are in, isn't it? And there is one adage, and there's one passage in the Bible that I love most. I can do all things through Christ, who does what? Who strengthens me. It's what you call yourself that you are. If you don't say, I am here, nobody will know that you are there. You don't have to go home and be depressed. Why am I like this? Why am I like that? Let me tell you, some of us who have all these physique, who have all these whatever we have, who are not physically challenged, some of us don't apply our strength. Some of us don't do things which we ought to do. One day I watched on the Facebook, I saw one woman without hands. And then her legs, she got her child, she removed her dress, the dress of that child, she breastfed, she put back the dress. You know, and I said, those of us who have hands, who have brain, who have heads, who have everything, when we sit down to complain, I think it's time we make use of our opportunities. Whether we are physically challenged or we are not physically challenged, God has endowed all of us with different talents. If you go to Jiriba, local government area, where you have the leprosy center, you see what they produce. So I don't know why some of us will sit down and be eating ourselves up and be embittered. Why am I blind? We're blind. Why am I lame? Why am I this and that? The REC has spoken everything. However, wherever and however you have found yourself, Bible says, give thanks in all situations. I have climbed to higher heights. I want us to assimilate what I'm trying to say. Reaching beyond my own limitations to show my inner strength. Don't just stay there and say, Adam, and what about it? What can I do out of this, whatever has happened to me? Inside the Ngolo, thank you. Give my brother a hand of applause. Yes, inside the Ngolo, what can I do? Our brother is telling us to show my inner strength. No obstacle is too hard for me. I am talking about Robert M. Hensel. And what difficult was too, that he is a warrior in the situation he found himself. So he called himself a warrior. Are you blind? Call yourself a warrior. Are you lame? Call yourself a warrior. Are you deaf? Call yourself a warrior. I hope we are assimilating what I'm saying. He said, I am just a man on a mission to prove my disability, to overcome, and to show disability that it has not won. Yes. And what a statement. He was a disabled fellow, physically challenged, but he did not allow that disability to hurt him. He called himself a warrior and then overcame what his problem was. I want to quote another person who said, continuous effort, not by strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking your potential. Wasting church here. It's not unintelligent. You have so many intelligent people up there doing nothing. You have very intelligent people just lousing about. Intelligent people are those who have armed robbers, kidnappers. You cannot kidnap if you are not intelligent. You cannot rob a bag if you are not intelligent. So, but they don't make use of the intelligence in the right perspective. They apply it wrongly. So, church here is telling you and me that it is not by being intelligent or having strength that we can achieve our potentials. We can do that.
Yeah. To happen here, what you are doing is great. It's wonderful. It is the platform you gave me that fired me to Abuja to represent these people here in drafting this document. And I'm happy the document is out. Before I speak on this document, I want 5 people out. I will speak just within 10 minutes. 5 people out of different heights. Madi said, Nanamibo. 5 people. Okay, they can small Igbo before. Okay. Just stand there and face the red. Okay. That's all right. I need more people of different heights. No, you're very tall. Another person. No, you are over tall. You are too tall. So I need people that can come below. No. Okay. No. I need a smaller person now. Antonio Aputa. Then one more person. We go very fast because I want to. Okay. Just side and that's all right. Okay, because I want all of you to look at. Yeah. I wouldn't ask you questions, but I want to explain something. These people here, are they of equal height? No. Now, assuming there is something they are too big by height, who will be the first to get it? Who comes second? Who comes third? Okay, it seems the fair madam and the dark man, can take equal position, Abi? Yes. But this lady will come last. Yes. Good. Now, if things were to be shared for these people to empower them, or if anything meaningful is to come as empowerment for these people, don't you think that this lady will be cheated on? Huh?
Exactly.
Who else will be cheated on? Meletu Sugo will be the one with Impolo. And then followed by the fair madam. But it seems that the tallest and the fair lady will be able to maneuver things. That's all right. Do you know what this thing explains? Equity and equality. If you now say, okay, let us give them the same chairs of this height, right? Bring out one chair here and say, if each of them has this kind of chair to stand on, the thing continues as the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. Abi? Even the least excluded will become more excluded. Okay. That was the situation before the advent of this handbook. So what INEC did was to bring equity that will give us equality. Because one INEC brought out this material not to empower only that tallest man, but to do what? Empower all of them. Go and sit down. To be at the same what? Level. It brought equity to guarantee equality. And I want to just let you know just one striking thing about this framework. It is called INEC Framework on access and participation of persons with disabilities in the electoral process. This thing passed through more than 50 consultations before we had this thing out, before it was launched. Now let me tell you one beautiful thing about it. Just listen. The rationale is to ensure that disability issues are mainstreamed into electoral matters throughout the electoral phases. This is in line with the mission statement of INEC. And what is it? To conduct free, fair and credible elections towards strengthening and deepening of democracy in Nigeria. This framework will guide INEC and PWDs to attain that. Let me tell you one beautiful thing. This material is stemmed from all relevant legal frameworks, including the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, the Convention on the Rights of the Child, the Convention, so many conventions, and above all, the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended to be able to arrive at this. INEC has played its own role with this. Do you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. The next role depends on you and me. I don't want to go into, they gave me only 10 minutes, so I don't want to go into details as I had planned. The rest of the role will depend on you, PWDs, and myself. You know why? You know why it's so serious? Good. Today, they called us to be here for this discussion. And out of 94 people, only 26 were present when we began. It was too bad. You want to exclude yourself. And let me tell you, we fought for inclusion. For years, we spent our lifetime fighting, and all of us here, and God brought this type of person to Enugu INEC. And you people want to exclude yourself. Well, many of us here have gone beyond all this. If you exclude yourself, don't come outside and call Obiefuna to come and lead a protest to INEC. I will not come. You will not see me. And the people here you will not see. If you go back home today, tell others at home that the challenges you people are going to reel out here today before the REC, which they will take note of, are the challenges you know. The ones you do not know, will you say them? You only say things that affect you. And so if tomorrow INEC packages some, ameliorative activities for us, and their own are excluded, they should count themselves as the ones who have properly or improperly excluded themselves. So, Honorable REC, I don't want to go too far because they gave me only 10 minutes. I don't know why 10. I thought it would be 1 hour 30. So I will stop here and hand over this mic to the MC who gave it to me, and plead with you to please give us time while you are present to listen to the challenges we will face come 2019. Let me tell you one thing now. When this woman said, if you have your PVC, raise your hands, it was a total majority. You know why? You people carried out proper sensitization. I know the millions you spent for me and this woman and this man to be on radio live program telling people about this, and it has materialized. Out of 25 million Nigerians with disabilities, this year alone, this is the first time we have 21 million with their PVCs. Wow. In fact, next year result will be a different narrative. You can't buy us now, of course. We don't have time for buying. We go for people who will give us what we want. God bless you.
I'm going to read my address word by word. Today is one of the special days in INEC. It is a day that we are demonstrating the reach of our partnership for citizens' inclusiveness and commitment towards credible election in 2019. Today's Stakeholder Summit is another deepening of the Commission's policy on people living with disabilities and their participation in 2019 general election. People living with disabilities are people living with different abilities. Therefore, they have, under all extant laws, their rights to participate irrespective of any encumbrances. I therefore welcome representatives of organizations of people living with disabilities to this summit. When one is differently able, his courage knows no bound. Such limitless courage is what we want to harness to ensure success during 2019 general election. The Commission already knows that election is successful when all registered persons with disabilities have motivating environments to vote. The Commission has pledged to do everything possible to ensure that nothing will aid the disenfranchisement of all people with disabilities in Enugu during 2019 general election. Currently, INEC Enugu is partnering with one of the umbrella organizations of people living with disabilities to map the locations and nature of disabilities so that we can effectively make required provision to ensure that no matter the nature of disability, all persons will vote in 2019 general election in Enugu State. I am aware of our environment and the societal challenges that people living with disabilities face on a daily basis, particularly during elections. The Commission has noted them and reflected their solutions in the recently launched policy document on people living with disabilities. Currently, we have a virtually impaired person serving as a youth corps in INEC. Let me, on behalf of the chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, reassure you all that INEC has made necessary preparations for people living with disabilities in 2019 general election. Since the suspension of continuous voter registration exercise on 31st May 2018, we have been working to clean up the voter register, which is the foundation of any credible election. As statutory requirement of the Commission and in line with our timetable and schedule of activities for 2019 polls, the Commission has recently displayed the temporary voters register throughout Enugu for claims and objections by citizens. During that period, we harvested 669 claims, 277 objections, and 23 deaths recorded. I've observed the difficulties experienced by people living with disabilities in participating in that period. But the biggest difficulty was lack of interest by people living with disabilities, most of whom gives up even before one can start the process of mobilizing. Let it be known today that every support that person living with disability can get will stem from their expression of interest to participate. Therefore, I will call on all of you to increase your interest in 2019 general election. The reason is not far-fetched. If good election entrenches good governance, people living with disability will be the first beneficiaries. But if the opposite is the case, they will equally be the first victim. The total registered voters in Enugu after cleaning up the voters register now stands at 1,943,376. During the CVR, which registered about 549,326, women registrants were about 279,213, which is about 50% of registration within that period. We are yet to ascertain the number of people with disabilities that register. And very soon, we will, through your leadership, make that available. We are currently sorting out the total number of people living with disabilities in our voters register. The number of people with disabilities who are coming to collect their PVCs is very low. I urge the leadership of people living with disabilities in Enugu to step up sensitization and arrangement so that INEC can go to where it will be easy for them to collect their PVCs. Enugu State is one of the states where the turnout of voters still fall within 30% of registered voters. It will be sad to record such percentage of voters turnout out of the 1.9 million registered voters. That would be a mere 583,000 people out of the 1.9 if we still record 30% turnout. Therefore, the big question is what will prevent any person living with disability in Enugu from coming out to cast his or her vote. State of preparedness in Enugu. During 2019 general election, INEC will conduct polls in 2,958 polling units and 4,146 voting points in 260 registration areas scattered in the 17 local government areas of Enugu State. In 2015, there were only 710 voting points. The importance of having this larger number of voting points now, if we get where the problems are, if we are able to determine the challenges of access that you have, it will enable us to know where to establish these 4,146 voting points so that all people living with disabilities will have easy access during election day. Therefore, in Enugu, actual voting will take place in all the voting locations as well as 2,958 polling units where results will be declared. The 4,146 voting points are just mere extension of the existing polling units. Voting points are not polling units. They are just extension of a polling unit to decongest, the polling unit that has over 500 registered voters. INEC is assuring that all registered voters in Enugu would have their PVCs before 2019 general election. And I am glad and happy to announce to you that we have taken delivery of all permanent voters' cards. You should tell the people to go to their respective local governments, their respective wards where they registered, to collect their permanent voters' card. Because in 2019 general election, no permanent voters' card, no vote. Yeah. No PVC would be collected by PROS in accordance with the Commission's policy. INEC Enugu will continue to convene the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security to review security arrangements for 2019 elections in Enugu, particularly as it affects people living with disabilities. Do not also fail to let us know where your fears lie, but make sure that you have your PVCs. All PVCs of people registered on or before August 31st, 2018 have been printed. I repeat, in continuation of our preparation for 2019 general election, political parties have concluded their party primaries and filed nomination of candidates for various elective positions. Submission of nomination for presidential and National Assembly election ended on 18th October 2018, while the date for submission and withdrawal of candidates was on the 17th of November 2018. Both activities are now concluded. For governorship and state assembly elections, the submission of nomination form closed on November 2nd, while the last day for substitution and withdrawal of candidates was on 1st December. Campaign for 2019 presidential election officially commenced on Sunday 18th, 2018. as provided by the law and in line with INEC election timetable. INEC is committed to closely monitoring the campaign in Enugu pursuant to our statutory mandate and to ensure compliance to extant laws and regulations. Now, as the campaign goes on, I expect every person with disability to listen and listen good and see where promises are being made towards the direction of uplifting the life and livelihoods of people living with disabilities. Our respected PWD leaders, the moment has beckoned on you again to discharge your roles of facilitating participation of your members in general election. First is to encourage them to pick up their PVCs and then come out to vote. This will enable the group to make more direct demand from elected representatives when time comes. As INEC continues to promise Nigerians credible 2019 election, I am promising PWDs in Enugu credible, free, and fair election devoid of violence. Turn out in mass and make 2019 election a historic and reference point. Finally, I wish to thank South Saharan Development Organization, National Orientation Agency, Disability Policy and Empowerment Consult, as well as other partners who participated in planning this event. Let me, on behalf of INEC Enugu, wish all of you a happy Christmas. Thank you very much. Now, what I expect us to do,
it is obligatory of them to identify with those taking this mapping activity in the 17 local governments, as we have it in Enugu State now. People are out there mapping the needs of persons with disability as regards electoral processes, so that as a visually impaired person, you identify your own local government, identify your own polling station, your own ward, and all that, so that when INEC is coming for the election, they are coming with your ballot, braille ballot, and the needs that you need that will help you cast your vote without any problem.
Units are distance from us, and also you know that there's no movement. If there is movement, we can board Okada or Keke or taxi, but no movement. So this is what we say. And also, there is violence. I would not like if I'm there, they will start running and there will be violence. No, they will not be. On top of my, because I have disability, that one will cause a double disability. Thank you.
To come out to vote is that most time, in voting time, they will not pay attention to the deaf. They'll stand in a line. My name is Queen. My name is Queen. Uchime, Queen Uchime, sorry. And the husband is here with her. What will make her not to come out in voting time is because people have that long line, and it is hard to focus on the deaf with that long line. Sometimes they give money and they don't know about it. They wait under the sun, and it makes it difficult. That's why what will make her not to come out for the voting. How can that be resolved?
What about your access, not physical access generally? I'm talking about what about access? Don't you need a sign language interpreter? No.
We need interpreter. What she says is that they don't focus on the deaf, probably because there is no interpreter there. And they don't understand anything that happens. They don't have an interpreter at the venue, at the polling unit there. So they don't know anything that happens there. So
it's
they
all
keep
right.
on suffering.
I understand.
Interesting.
And it's actually one of the major problems in soccer particularly. And because of the movement, there was no movement, people are finding it difficult to walk towards to the polling booths. And if the INEC can give order to the securities to allow the disabled people to move around freely with their cars or with anything, it could help us. Then violence, some of us are not going there because of violence, according to her. If we have enough securities, we can go there and comfortably without being afraid of anything. I think that's going to help us. Then another last one I will chip in is preference, giving us like a particular boat for disabled people, so that any disabled that comes in walk towards there and vote and go home instead of being on the line and so on. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what you're talking about giving us preference when we come to vote. That's all right.
My own challenge is accreditation. How can I suffer to register during the time of accreditation? He said my name is not there. So this discouraged me the other time. So I want two people to look at it, because this time again, I will bring down my PVC again, and they will say my name is not there again. Guy, if you call me again, I never come, because the one for what that's what I'm.
Okay, let me do a follow-up now with this, right? Do you think that boycotting the election is the best option?
No, it's because of that.
So this time around, INEC has solved that problem. Your fear is allayed. Get to the polling unit, right? Yeah. If you have that challenge, do a complaint there. Oh. God bless you. Don't boycott the election.
It's polling booths. Can the INEC identify the population of persons with disability in a given polling unit, and make, because we talk of this transportation, and make transportation available to a given polling unit, identify the population of people in that polling unit, so that the transportation can be made available, because there is no movement during that time. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think someone else has mentioned this. Then another thing you mentioned here is identifying PWDs on that day. Someone also has complained about giving us preference. So I think no, that's what I'm saying. INEC has had. Yes.
I have to say, like I said before, we live with disability. And we have two major challenges: division and the sum. Personally, I like voting, but I experience a lot of difficulties. Number one is that I'll come to the polling booths. It happens to anybody that is living with albinism. Then when you tell the ad hoc staff, I am here, my number is this, let me go and stand under the shade. When it is time for me to go and vote, I will vote. They will refuse. And nothing will make me stand under the sun. Because if I develop skin cancer, not even the person I came to vote for will hear me, listen to me. If you notice, when we were standing there, if I knew I would stand there for more than 2 minutes, I wouldn't have gone out there. Yes. So because of that, I appeal with INEC to help us train their ad hoc staff and the law enforcement agents. There are other people that we have problem with. They should listen. I was in a polling booth where a man who was blind was pushed down by a policeman because he was telling people to shift. The blind man was just standing because he didn't know what to do now. The person that was helping him was not there. When people were shifting, he was standing. The policeman went out. I was telling people to push the man down, only to notice that later that man was blind. So I appeal, if persons with albinism come to the polling booth, please, we should do that accreditation. Go to the shade to stand. I don't want to jump you. No, don't give me preference. When it is my turn, allow me to come from the shade to come and vote. Then the ballot paper, or if there's anything, I don't go to signpost. I nearly missed my PVC because I couldn't go to that place to see my. I was pleading with the ad hoc staff, because give me your register to look for my name. She refused. It took the intervention of another INEC staff to come and help me because she knows me. So if the ballot papers will be made bold and anything he can then bold and give us to do, then anybody with albinism will comfortably come and vote. Thank you.
Magnifiers, are you aware of that? So what I'll do now is at the end of this program, I'll give you Jake a Pellet's number. No, I'm coming. You call him.
I am Jake's daughter.
Beautiful. So he will. Wow. I think he has gone so far in getting you guys, magnifiers.
I am the assistant coordinator of the Foundation.
God bless you. So I think we can work together. I can help you in some ways. Contact so that we can help INEC to help us. That's one. Second, stand under the sun. I think Oga, if your staff need the training, we can train them on inclusion so they understand our different demands. And the police, yeah, but another terrible thing, truly, they also need training. I don't know how we can do a good training. We can train them free of charge. We train them. They don't pay us. We can train your staff and train policemen on how to control the crowd of PWDs on that day. But I can overtake this, But after this program, let's talk.
My name is Inec Enugu. I'm living in Enugu home. I don't have problem in the time I wanted to vote. But the problem we have, she need a security because I'm living that place. That time she wanted to vote. Our metro suggests everybody travel because of the cloud. I say no, that I don't want to travel. I will stay there and vote. Please, I'm begging INEC to send a security. We stay that place until the end of the vote.
Where is that? Where?
Enugu home. I need a very security that place because you live in that place. I can't run, I can't go anywhere until she finishes everything. So I want to beg INEC to give us
strong security.
Strong security. We stay that place until in the morning and the evening. Thank you.
Honorable Rec, this is a very serious complaint. They stay at a place called the Cheshire Home. Cheshire Home, Enugu. Cheshire Home. Cheshire Home. Yes, near just near Adelabu Street to 1, sir. Near Kenyatta Market. So that place, everyone polling unit right from time. But how do we see those security challenge there? Anytime we election, how am I going to under that gadget? So they will create confusion there. And India also, and this is something I'm blowing a group of. So if there's any way you can take note of this, particularly that polling unit go very, very important.
I don't have any problem in voting. We vote freely. But what I want to plead them is that many people are coming to take their PVC. Every day they will be coming asking for their PVC. Some people may say it's not because of they used to demand it when they go to bank. They will have not suffering themselves in looking for this PVC. And this is bothering me. Since 2015, we are expecting hardship because the person in tenure is not doing well. We are expecting to vote the person that is the person that will lead us well. But we are not serious in having our PVC. Many people have been coming. There was a girl I sent to a court. The person went there, the person came back and said, problem there. We are expecting to vote the right person, but we don't have PVC. We think that miracle will happen. Although miracle used to happen, but you have to come out and vote. And nobody is giving to them. And I was even joking with them. Native people employ me so that I've been sharing the voters card. They were laughing. They didn't give it to anybody. but I'm pleading so that we announce it and carry the voters card that they drop at a court there. It's supposed to bring back to Enugu South where people can go there easily and pay their PVC. Or that is at home. When they bring the PVC there, it will be easy for people to come and get it easily.
Thank you very much. Honorable Rec, this is a subtle appeal to employ more PWDs to help you in doing this work.
I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I think this is the first time such engagement is happening as stand to be corrected, and it gives us hope that things can be done properly in our country. But I have a major concern, which I think it's fundamental to the issues concerning PWDs. Even though, like you said, we're all disabled in one way or the other, but I take particular interest in issues concerning them because I have a good friend here, Sam, and I do that as part of my own societal contribution for the betterment of the country. I want to read a part of the message you gave us today. It says, the biggest difficulty was lack of interest by people living with disabilities, most of whom give up even before one can start the process of mobilizing them. I think it's a major challenge, and we have not addressed the fundamental cause of that major challenge. It is not just election day, it is not just election voting. I think we need to start from the issues of political parties. How many PWD members here are part of the political process of our society? How many of them can even access these political parties' offices without stress? Look at the political offices. We find that a lot of them are not sensitive to PWD issues. If you're not part of a process, how can you be involved in that process? So I think the first thing INEC needs to do is that INEC needs to hold our parties accountable to ensure that there is participation by PWDs, by making sure that offices, party secretariat are accessible to PWDs. It is only when they become accessible to PWDs that PWDs can pay interest in political participation. The first speaker talked about PWDs contesting. Ebek Hagesi contest. From which party? Ebek at the platform Gesibia. These are the things we need to first of all address. Only one interest a political party. You will be there to election. They are not voting because they don't have interest. The parties have not created an enabling environment for them to have interest. I wait for the day people with disability will walk in and take a party primary and be able to contest an election. It is one thing I am dreaming of. But the way it is structured practically disenfranchises them. And once you cannot vote, that is where the violence starts. Any man who has been disenfranchised, you have violently removed his ability to determine his or her future. So first of all, INEC needs to go back to the drawing board, engage political parties. They need to restructure their party offices so that PWDs can become part of the political process and begin to get involved in politics and begin to develop interest that will lead to the election proper. A lot of them cannot come because they don't even know anything about politics, what is happening, because the way it is planned has excluded them. So I think this is something, 2019 is just by the corner, it's already there. We will make effort to ensure that they come to vote. But I'm thinking that proper arrangements should start to be made for the future. It is now time for INEC to take up that responsibility of engaging political parties to start the process of mainstreaming PWDs into political affairs. Thank you.
God bless you. One thing is very clear. You don't know this man. You know this man? This man is...
If you can see the sample, there are some of my colleagues who will be interested to see how the ballot paper will look like. So they will see it early because I know that the volume will be too big. So it will be easy for us that day. And then some of our students who live, some of our colleagues who live together, like University of Nigeria and Soccer, and even special school for the brand of Ejiofor and the other schools. If it is possible for INEC to provide mobility that day for them, because I know some schools they reach University of Nigeria and Soccer, they're up to 50 to 60, and most of them will vote in the soccer. The same thing in Ejiofor. If possible, if INEC can provide a means for them to even mobility to go to polling booths and vote, it will be glad.
Corrected what I want to say. Thank you very much.
That's all. Thank you.
My name is Prince Obinna. I am one of the deaf elders member. He is happy for coming here to solve this problem with voting for people with disability. He has observed that the major contributors of the problems with the major problem of persons with disabilities first is lack of attention. When he was in Anambra during governorship election, the friend came back with a t-shirt printed on it, Access Nigeria. Okay, printed ACC Nigeria. On the back, making votes easy for persons with disability, and his cap. One organization that organized the program, INEC Anambra, agreed with it. All disabled people with disability had the shirts and the cap that they wore. Once they go to the polling units and they see those people with the t-shirt and the cap, they quickly give them time. So it would be good if INEC in Enugu do the same thing. It is important to give them t-shirts, especially people, so that their trained workers will quickly recognize people with disability and help them so that when they see them with the shirt, they will quickly pay them attention and they vote and leave. Thank you.
Wow. Interesting. Going to get back to you people during the intensive voter education exercise so that we know how to overcome those problems, assuming you live in different locations that may be difficult. If it is possible to get a sign interpreter per polling unit, you know that we are going to have over 6,000 sign interpreters. But that is not going to be possible. But I don't think it's a problem that is insurmountable. Therefore, we will get back to you soon after the mapping exercise is concluded, so as to know where you are located and know how to overcome the problem. The person who complained about disappearing of his name on our voters register, do you have your PVC there? Do you have your PVC right away? Yes. Okay, if you had it now, we would have tested it. But if you have access to our local government, or if you can come back here and we will tell you whether it is still okay or not. However, during the CVR exercise, we were asking people to go and check the status of their PVCs. We will check it, test it, and see what we can do. And that also goes to all of us. If you are registered before and you are not sure that your PVC is okay, please come early and check with us. For that purpose, we don't attend to people regularly in the headquarters here. But for the purpose of making it easier for people living with disabilities, you are free to come directly to this office, and the ICT department will check the status of your PVC. We have a relationship with law enforcement agents through our platform, which is Interagency Consultative Committee for Election Security. We are going to raise this, and they are going to factor it into their training. The point is that wherever you are, please indicate your status so that they will quickly identify you and give you a special attention. Special homes, we have taken notes. We will do for security in that location. There won't be any problem on that. Employment of people living with disabilities as ad hoc staff. Now, listen very well. The Commission has a policy of recruitment of ad hoc staff. Number one, we take ad hoc staff from NYS. If they are unable to give us the total number that we want, we move to federal agencies, federal universities, federal colleges, and federal polytechnics to complete. So if you have a person living with disabilities that work in these locations, then the person might have what I would call near automatic opportunity. If the person feels that he or she is being marginalized and his names are not submitted because of his state of ability, please make sure you report to SAM so that SAM will communicate that to us, or you can come directly and report to our desk officer that handles the issues of people living with disability. If they understand that it is what gives them access to a particular thing, they will go and print their own counterfeit and then make matters very difficult for you. The best approach is for us to do this mapping very well and know from the beginning where you are located so that we can approach you there and deal with you dispassionately. What will work for us, particularly for those who have access to telephone, because the mapping will have such, we will call you, we will know where you are, and we will try to solve your problem. Issues of education is a general thing. We will design, the person by my side is the head of Department of Voter Education and Publicity. We will design a program that will target people with special challenges so that at the end of the day, they will understand the voting process, they will understand the timing, they will understand the policies and programs of INEC unaided.
And this brings us to the very end of this wonderful event, PWDs, people living with disabilities, anchored by INEC Enugu, on how they can come out and vote in the 2019 general elections. My name is Ozioma, Ejiofor, reporting for Solid 100.9. It's a wonderful session. We thank the INEC and how they provided their transports to their various destinations. God bless INEC Enugu. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thanks very much.